away following a fatal collision. Sault Ste. Marie police responded yesterday to a single vehicle collision in the 1100 block of Goulet Avenue. Police say the vehicle in question left the roadway, striking a culvert. A 20-year-old man was the lone occupant of the vehicle. He was transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries and later died. The chiefs of the Mississauga and Serpent River First Nations are standing firm with the Mi'kmaq Nation in defending inherent Indigenous rights. Yesterday, members of the two First Nations communities gathered on Highway 17 in a showing of support for Mi'kmaq fishers in their struggle to protect their livelihood. Mississauga First Nation Chief Reg Neganobe says his community fully supports the Mi'kmaq Nation in their right to exercise their inherent rights, be free from oppression when trying to access legal markets, and free of tyranny and intimidation when trying to earn a small living. Chief Brent Baselion of Serpent River says yesterday's highway slowdown was an expression of Indigenous peoples' rights to trade, strengthen internation bonds, and practice First Nations' distinct legal and political rights as a sovereign people. Baselion says true reconciliation can only happen if Canadians answer the challenge to stand up for the distinct legal and political rights of Indigenous people. Heavy rain is expected to close out the work week. Starting tonight, Environment Canada says the region could see 20 to 40 millimeters of rain, which is expected to taper off Friday morning. Some rainfall warnings have already been issued for some areas, and there could be more to come as a Colorado low tracks through parts of northeastern Ontario tomorrow. A Chippewa County man has had his hunting and trapping privileges revoked and is on the hook for more than $36,000 in fines in what's been described as the largest wolf poaching case in the U.S. 56-year-old Kurt Johnston Duncan of Pickford pleaded guilty last month to 7 poaching crimes. The plea came after an investigation by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Conservation officers. Duncan will spend 90 days in jail and be subject to 18 to 24 months probation. In a plea agreement with the Chippewa County prosecutor, Duncan pleaded guilty to 7 counts of poaching-related offenses. Daniel LaPrade is up next with your local weather right after this.
Good evening and welcome back on your Thursday evening. Hope everybody had a great day today. And the rain is moving in this evening and we're going to see quite a bit of it coming up. So we are going to take a look at the radar and then I will mention the special weather statement that we have in effect. So as you can see, and with the satellite cloud shot here as well, we do have some cloud cover. It's going to continue. We are going to see the rain move in. There we go. I'll just move out of the way for a little bit here. And as you can see, there's a nice big cell over here. So what's happening is this is all tracking its way towards our region, and we're going to see quite a bit of precipitation over the next 12 hours, and the temperature is actually going to rise as we get overnight, which is something that doesn't normally happen. Usually it's supposed to go down, but we do have some warm air moving in there. So there you go. There's your radar shot. Let's take a look at our camera though. We are seeing mainly cloudy skies throughout the day. And we are seeing the showers going to be moving in, the rain going to stick around all night. Our camera is brought to you by wirelesscom.ca. Check their website out for all the services they have to offer. And that shot is looking east with Purvis Marine there in the foreground. So we are going to mention the special weather statement quickly here that is in effect for Sault Ste. Marie, St. Joseph Island, Searchmont, Montreal River Harbor, and Batchewana Bay. Rain at times heavy is expected this evening into Friday. Rainfall amounts of 20 to 40 millimeters are expected before tapering off Friday morning. This is a result of the Colorado low that will track through parts of northeastern Ontario on Friday. Rainfall warnings have been issued for some areas, and if any other warnings are issued, we will make sure to bring those to you on SiouxOnline.com as well as here as on TV for you, keeping you up to date. So let's look at those expected highs for today. 3 degrees in Thunder Bay, 5s in Wawa and Timmins, 8 in Sault Ste. Marie, 7 in Elliott Lake, and 9 in Sudbury. Looking at your overnight lows here, we are going to see low of 1 in Thunder Bay, Wawa, and Timmins, 4s in Sault Ste. Marie and Elliott Lake, and 5 in Sudbury. And okay, so now we're going to get into the 3-day forecast. As I mentioned tonight, we are going to see that rain, and the winds are going to pick up 20 kilometers, gusting to 40. Temperature is going to rise to 14 by the morning on Friday before leveling off and actually coming back down to 10. And we are going to see sustained rain throughout the day. And then we will see it taper off in the late afternoon, and then we will see a 60% chance of a lingering shower. Temperature will fall drastically as we get into the evening and overnight Friday. Cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries overnight, 0 degrees. So there you go. The roller coaster will be Friday for you. And then Saturday, we are going to see a mix of sun and cloud to start your day. 30% chance of rain showers or flurries as we go into the afternoon, and then it's going to clear up a little bit overnight. Cloudy periods. Low of 2 on Saturday. Then Sunday, yes, we have more rain coming your way. 6 degrees and then a low of 3 overnight with continued periods of rain. And our weather is brought to you by Northern Lights Detailing. They are at 632 Great Northern Road. Go see them and let them know that you saw their ad and their sponsorship here on TV or SiouxOnline.com, and you'll get 10% off any one of their services. So just make sure you mention that next time you go there when you go and see Marnie. So rain on Monday too, 5 degrees before we take a break on Tuesday. Then we got some mixed weather coming in on Wednesday, a mixed bag, and then snow potentially for Thursday. 4 degrees is your high. Overnight lows are staying very low there in the single digits, hitting to -1 by next Thursday night. So we are looking at maybe a snowy Halloween, depending on how the rest of next week goes as well. Now let's look at your Weather Watcher photo for today. Sent in by Ian McMillan. This is Hilton Township on St. Joseph Island with the fall colors there. Lots of beautiful colors out on the island. If you do have a chance to go for a drive, you're running out of time because a lot of the leaves are starting to fall off. But if you can still get out there, do get out there and check out those colors. They are great. Send your photos and videos weather related to ontvweather@gmail.com. Include your name and location. They will go here on TV, which goes on First Local, the newscast, and they also go up to SiouxOnline.com, which then pushes it to our social media. So we do appreciate the weather photos. So thank you for sending them in. And while you're on SiouxOnline.com, take the time to check out all the stories that we present to you throughout the day. And you can also find information on the weather, and you can find all our social media links there for you. So you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, subscribe to YouTube. It's all there for you, so make sure you check that out, SiouxOnline.com or myalgoma.ca. I will be back with Chris tomorrow morning with First Local, and Mike will be back right after this with more news. Have a great night.
You know what? You got spunk.
Well,
I hate spunk.
Sault Ste. Marie police are putting out a warning after receiving complaints about fraudulent activity involving door-to-door sales. They've been told about a person claiming to work for Reliance Home Comfort, knocking on doors and requesting to enter the home to check on the hot water tank and furnace. The person then asks for personal Reliance Home Comfort client information from the homeowner. The company confirms they never conduct door-to-door sales. Sioux police are asking that you be careful who you let into your home and always ask a lot of questions. If you have any doubts about the person, end the conversation and don't let them in. A rainfall warning is now in effect for Sault Ste. Marie and St. Joe's Island. Rainfall amounts of up to 60 millimeters are expected in the area. The rain's expected to continue right into Friday evening as a Colorado low tracks through parts of northeastern Ontario. Localized flooding in low-lying areas is possible. The RCMP says Mounties serving in Iqaluit are to be equipped with body-worn cameras later this year as part of a pilot project that aims to help strengthen accountability and public trust of the police force. The RCMP says it made the decision after consulting with community members and federal and territorial government officials. It says the goal of the pilot project is to evaluate best practices with existing technology in remote regions and to get feedback from the community. Last June, Nunavut RCMP said the force was considering using body cameras as tension grew between Mounties and the largely Inuit communities they serve. This followed a video that became public on social media that showed an RCMP officer using the door of a slowly moving police vehicle to knock over an apparently intoxicated man. The Nunavut government says it's in favor of any measures that increase transparency of police services. Ontario is reporting 841 new cases of COVID-19 today and 9 new deaths due to the virus. Health Minister Christine Elliott says 335 cases are in Toronto, 162 are in Peel Region, 106 in York Region, and 72 in Ottawa. The province says it conducted 38,860 tests since the last daily report, with an additional 34,784 tests being processed. In total, 270 people are hospitalized in Ontario due to COVID-19, including 74 in intensive care. Ontario also reported 74 new COVID-19 cases related to schools, including at least 49 among students. Those bring the number of schools with a reported case to 501 out of Ontario's 4,828 publicly funded schools. Hundreds of people are being evacuated from a remote First Nation in northwestern Ontario due to a water crisis, and the community's chief is accusing the federal and provincial governments of dehumanizing inaction. Chief Christopher Munoz says an oily sheen was discovered in the Neskandaga First Nation water reservoir earlier this week, forcing its water plant to shut down until test results come back. He says there's, quote, not a drop of water going to any building in the community, adding that no one should have to live like that. Munoz says the evacuees are headed 400 kilometers away to Thunder Bay. The water testing, meanwhile, is being conducted in Kitchener, more than 1,000 kilometers away, and could take up to 10 days to complete. Tim Hortons has signed a deal with TerraCycle's Loop program to test an option that would allow customers to pay a deposit and receive their order in reusable, returnable cups and food packaging. Once the customer is done, they could return the cups and other containers to a participating restaurant and have their deposit refunded. Tim Hortons says the cups and food containers would then be cleaned, sanitized, and used again. The test program is expected to start next year at select Toronto restaurants. Tim Hortons says it expects that over time, the Loop program will have a growing number of drop-off locations. The company announced plans to give away nearly 2 million reusable cups in February, but had to pause the plan due to the pandemic. I'm Mike McDonald. We have more news and weather coming up.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore.